This podcast is part of the Pull Up a Chair podcast network. Let's build community through connection, conversation, and collaboration.
Hey, I'm Ryan.
And I'm V.
And you're listening to Cringe With Me, the podcast where we dig up the cringiest articles, questions, and tidbits of human culture to review with you, our listeners, so you too can cringe with me.
I'm hypocritical, but at least I know we could be beautiful or maybe terrible.
Okay, so this is a juicy one, and it falls well into the relationship red flag category that we love so much.
Okay.
This is another Am I the Asshole? This is Am I the Asshole for leaving my boyfriend at his family party?
Oh my god, what?
Yeah. It's just, this one's good. This one's really good. I'm really proud of this one. So I, 23 female, okay, so early mid-20s female, have been dating my fiance, 35, for 2 years. So she's 23, he's 35. 12-year difference. It's a pretty big difference. I'm not going to make disparaging remarks about that. My partner and I have a 9-year difference. So, okay, that's where we're at. We recently got engaged, and we both agreed to be child-free.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. That's a good thing to, make a decision on early.
Yeah, if you're going to get engaged to someone, you should be on the same page about this, right?
Yeah.
I haven't met much of his family. He claimed he didn't want to introduce me until we were serious.
Fair enough.
Yeah, not that weird, especially if you're not, super close with your family. This weekend, he invited me to his sister's baby welcome party, which I have never heard that term.
I've never heard of that either.
But she has a baby, is a few weeks old, and this is a party for everyone to meet the baby, which actually makes sense. It's okay, the baby's born. We are recovered from that process. It's not like that just came out of me. And so now it's safe for everyone to come over and meet the baby. Because, having a baby is a pretty intense process. I think you're pretty right.
It just came out of me.
Yeah. Nobody wants to deal with a bunch of people when a baby just came out of you. That's a lot. I think that's a lot.
I need to breathe. Hold on. Okay.
So a baby welcome party, which I love. It's way better than a baby shower, in my opinion.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So everything was going fine, and I was getting along well with his family. All the women in the family were taking turns dealing with the baby when he cried. I didn't, because I have never so much as held a baby and would have no idea how to calm one down.
And you don't really know these people. Okay.
Sure. But I mean, I don't know. That wouldn't bother me. I like kids and I like babies.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so comfortable around kids and babies that for me, if someone I didn't know was will you hold my baby? I'd be like, yeah, I got you.
But it's weird to do that jump without being explicitly asked first. In your example, they offered you said baby.
Well, I think that may be what was happening.
Okay.
But we'll see.
My assumption was that people were just automatically taking turns, and I wouldn't assume that I can touch somebody else's kid without their permission.
I would also probably be in that, but the men went outside to have cigars, and one of his cousins asked me why I wasn't helping with the baby. And I was honest that I had no baby experience. His mom laughed and said I should learn now because she expected a lot of grandbabies, and she knows how badly my fiancé wants a big family.
He's lying to somebody.
Yeah, I was surprised. I told her we plan on being child-free.
Okay.
His mom kind of rolled her eyes and changed the subject.
Interesting.
I pulled my fiancé aside and asked him what that was about. He said we would talk about it later, but I was pressed, and he admitted I was young and he figured I would grow out of not wanting children.
Okay. Relationship over.
I was pissed, but didn't want to make a scene at his sister's party. So I told him I was going to the bathroom to cool down, but instead, I walked a few blocks away, got an Uber, and went home.
Oh, so she left him with the car too. How considerate of her.
But more than she left,
right? Yeah, she left in a way that didn't disrupt him being there.
Well, yeah, we don't know that they drove, but you know what I mean. He blew up my phone for being rude and leaving, how I need to come back and apologize. He took a serious step introducing me to his family, and I blew it. I felt terrible, so I sent his sister a Facebook message, because I don't have her number, saying I was sorry for leaving abruptly, but I felt sick and went home. She answered a few hours later, saying it was no problem. She was happy to have met me and can't wait to get to know me better. Okay.
No reason to get to know her better.
This was
That
yesterday.
relationship's over.
I texted my fiance this morning that I wanted to talk about the children issue, but he sent me one text calling me immature, and I haven't heard from him since. Now I feel like I should have just stayed and held my tongue until we left, especially since his sister was so nice.
Maybe keep the sister and ditch the man.
Yeah, there's so much wrong with this.
Like, my God.
I have been in a relationship that had a similar thing going on where I was like, yeah, I don't want kids. I don't think this is something I'll ever want. And the person wanted kids, but they were like, you'll change your mind eventually. And I'm like, that's not a good bait. We can't bet on that because what if I don't, right?
Yeah.
And her response was, well, if at a certain point you haven't changed your mind, I'm just going to stop taking my birth control and not tell you.
I'm glad you escaped.
Yeah, I left that relationship, obviously. That was a bad thing. But let's talk about this fiance. Let's just do a little recap here.
A little recap.
So he lied to her.
Yes.
He agreed he didn't want children, but he does. He disrespected your boundaries, right?
Big
about
time.
this. Figuring he could bully you into this later, right? He gaslit you. He called you rude and told you to come back and apologize when you left because you'd realized you'd been lied to about something huge, right? So, like, he lied to you, and then when you caught him, he got mad at you for it. Textbook gaslighting, right? And now he's giving you the silent treatment, which is emotionally abusive and manipulative. So, like...
That is horrible.
That's so many red flags from one incident that I would be like, yeah, this relationship is done. We are not engaged. This is over.
And then, can we just say, OP handled this beautifully.
Mhm.
She found out that there was a discrepancy, and instead of making an assumption, she talked to him about it, gave him an opportunity. Maybe it could have been that he was lying to his mother, or his mother was making it up, or his mother was just unaware of his actual plans, and so she wasn't making an assumption. She went to talk to him. Awesome,
Mhm.
awesome, awesome. Yeah. She didn't want to ruin a party that wasn't about her or for her, and so she left in a manner that would not be disruptive.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah, she did everything correctly.
Everything.
But this guy... Run fast.
Do not
run
walk.
far. Get out of there. This is not good. Like, there's no... You know me as the forgiving one. I'm the one who will try to understand another person's perspective. There's no justification for this. There's so many red flags here that I'm like, yeah, you can't fix this. And it's not your job to get out.
God. At what point was he going to sabotage her future?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is it going to be a year into the marriage? Is it going to be right away? And big family, that means he wants her popping him out.
Mm-hmm. So here's the other interesting aspect to this. Because a lot of people are like, okay, you're not the asshole. A lot of red flags.
Yeah.
Right? Same things I'm saying. There is a subgroup of the responses to this. They're specifically calling out the age difference as the factor. Right? They're like, oh, I'm not surprised. A man dating a woman 12 years younger than him also sounds like he's roughly 12 years younger emotionally. Right? Stuff like that. And then there's a lot of like, oh, because men who date younger women are emotionally stunted and unable to have real relationships. So a lot of like targeting the age difference, which I think is interesting. And I wanted to explore a little bit because I think there's two ways to interpret this, right?
Okay.
I think there is a interesting trend of certain men who tend to date far below their age consistently.
Yes.
Right?
They
like,
get older.
They target women a decade younger.
Yeah.
And I only say that because I am dating someone who's basically a decade younger than me.
Yeah.
But that is the only person in my dating career that is like that, right?
It's like the standout person, not your pattern.
Yeah, and I didn't start dating. I didn't even like. I didn't know her age when like I became interested. Like it was like something that came up, and I'm like, oh wow, that's weird. In fact, I almost dismissed the relationship early on because of that age difference.
Mm-hmm.
Like we got to talking, I found out we had a 9-year age difference, and I'm like, oh okay, this is probably not a thing. Like this is maybe not like a thing for me. Even though we were both over 21 at the time, like nobody, like we were both adults.
You didn't meet her when you were 19 and she was 10.
No, like we both had established careers and everything. Like we were adults, but I was still like my immediate response was like, that's a lot of an age difference. I probably am not interested in that. Mm-hmm. But then turns out the person is like the love of my life and I'm going to be with her forever. And yeah, we have a 9-year age difference. And I still find that weird sometimes. Like there's still moments where I'm like, wow, we like grew up in kind of different generations and very different like
That's come up a couple
experiences.
times on the podcast so far.
Yeah. So like that's a thing that I think about. But I would never target somebody that young and like that's not my dating
You
career,
wouldn't
right?
seek somebody out with that age difference.
Yeah. Most people have been my age or very close.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting to see all this targeting, and I'm like, oh, is this more of a thing? Because it's not me, but I know there are people like this, and so I'm like,
oh no, it is a pattern. My first boyfriend when I was 13 was 24.
You told me about that one.
Yeah.
That's well, that's
And I think he's
predatory
still
in a lot of ways.
I think he's still dating the like 13 to 17 age gap.
That's creepy and illegal.
In some states, it's not illegal because 17 is considered in terms sexually an adult, and in some states it's 16.
Yeah, but 13?
Not 13.
Yeah,
No, actually, Louisiana it's 13.
that's terrifying. I don't want to think about that.
And there's not actually a limit if you're married to the person.
Okay, I do know there's a lot of weird.
There's a lot of
child marriage is a whole thing. We don't need to get into that.
Anyways, that is a big thing. There's a lot of men out there from my own experience who go for younger women.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's because they want to have a breeding partner. There's not a better term for it, I'm sorry. And sometimes it's just the naivete of that age range when you're learning how to be an adult.
Yeah.
How old was OP again?
23.
23. Okay, so she's right at the cusp of where creeps like that will stop
Mm-hmm.
targeting her for her age. So she's like right at that border. So I think it's for breeding purposes, personally.
Could be.
Which is awful, especially with the mother's comment of he wants a big family. Well, she's the perfect age to start popping them out.
Yeah, I'm like, ugh. There's just, like I said, there's the 4 red flags, and we'll add the 5th one of the potential age targeting thing here. But yeah, man, the I figured you'd grow out of it or change your mind is. So this is a weird contradiction of relationships. You should not get into a relationship with someone expecting them to change.
Absolutely
You should
not.
also not get into a relationship with them expecting them to stay the same. Because neither will happen
You're
the
supposed
way
to
you want.
grow together.
Right. Yeah. People are going to change over time. You're supposed to change over time. You're not supposed to stay stagnant as a person. You're supposed to grow, supposed to change. And in a relationship, if a long-term relationship is meant to last, if it's going to last, it's going to require both people actively putting some effort into growing in ways that are conducive to maintaining that relationship.
And it should be together, not you come to my level or I go to your level.
I mean, I think it's both, honestly.
Yeah, coming together.
I think sometimes coming together is someone coming to someone else's level.
Well, yeah,
I think
just mean
sometimes
overall.
growing together involves one person stepping up. I think that's a thing. I don't think that it should always be on one person. I don't think it should be a constant demand. I don't think it should be an ultimatum per se. But I think that in a natural growth and establishing boundaries in a relationship, there are going to be times where you're going to be asking someone to step up.
Yeah,
I think that is a thing.
That's reasonable. Right. But it sounds like he was expecting all of her to change to match him.
Absolutely. And, treated her like garbage when she was like, "You're lying to me." And he's like, "That's not important."
Such a big thing.
What's important is that you don't make a scene at my sister's baby
welcoming party, which I love.
Yeah, the best part about this, baby welcoming party. Love that.
Okay, that should be the next trend. It shouldn't be gender reveal. It should be baby welcoming.
Yeah, baby welcoming's great. Like, oh yeah, I want to go see the baby. I like babies.
Yeah. Can I touch your baby, please?
Can I hold the baby? Can I have it make noises at me and make silly faces? Babies are great.
Babies are great.
If you don't like babies, that's also okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't judge people for not liking babies.
No, see, and I was so excited when you first started reading because it's like they're engaged. They've already established one of the big things, which they don't want to have kids. Like if you don't want to own a house or establish roots in this particular area and you don't want to have kids or pets, that should be stuff that's like, okay, this is what we want, and it should only change if down the road both of you change your mind on it, because that's such a big thing.
And it is okay for people to change their mind.
Yeah, but it has to be something you guys want to do together.
Yeah, but you can't force somebody into that.
Yeah. And I was so excited. I was like, yeah, look at them doing those big, hard-hitting questions.
Yeah, it's almost like he knew the right things to say to get someone to commit to being in a relationship with him, so then he could manipulate that later. Huh. Yeah.
Okay, well,
Anyway.
I know it's not the end of the month. Usually when we do the recaps, we do it at the beginning of the following month. But remember, we said, you guys, this is our last episode for the month of November.
Yes.
So we're going to do the recap now. And you guys are going to vote now. So that way next week we can record for December.
Yes. We need a week to get our ducks in a row,
Yes.
so to speak.
So quick recap running through what we already had. I did the Who Are You Wearing? Not Me, which was about OP's ex-husband's girlfriend, not fiance, wanting her wedding dress.
Yes. The give me your wedding dress. I'm going to cry and lie about it when I don't get it.
Yeah.
Okay, good. The next one was mine, which was the internet tears down a good father. And that was the one where the dad was trying his best and doing what I think was the right thing for the most part when his kid reacted like a teenager, and the mom did not like it.
Yeah, the mom was also being a little shady. Just my opinion. Personal opinion.
I just hope that everybody worked it out and they're all happy. It seems like
Yeah.
the dad and the son worked it out. I really hope that the dad and the mom worked it out, and I hope that the mom and the son worked it out. Because, like, this guy, he's going to be the pillar holding this all together.
Oh my god, he is the pillar. I still want him to be my daddy.
I know, right? Good dad energy everywhere.
After that, I did the liar liar relationship on fire, where somebody told Abby about their boyfriend just needing to lie to everybody about inconsequential things, including being lied to herself.
Yes.
Yeah, Abby wasn't a fan.
No, neither was I. I feel like I could understand why he was doing it, but that doesn't make it okay. And
Yeah.
I hope that, I hope she got out and that he fixes his behavior.
We'll see. We'll see. And then you just read...
Yes. My last one was engaged to a red flag, because this man was just a walking red flag.
Yeah, this is one that you don't understand.
Yes. I don't... There's no justification
No
for this. I know I'm also a little sensitive and bitter because of having been in a relationship where that was a thing. So, I mean, like, I felt particularly like, ooh, this is
So
not
you're
okay.
biased.
I am biased. But, at least in my case, the person was honest about it. They didn't lie to me about it. They just said, I expect you to change your mind, and I know time will work for me. Right?
I mean, it didn't work because you're not with them anymore.
No, it didn't. Although, the funny thing is, I now am considering children. So,
But it's because of the partner that you're with.
Agreed. I would not have had children with that. Anyway,
Yeah.
we're not going to get into there. But, yeah.
Getting
it's,
into the weeds.
No, we're not going to get into the weeds of my past relationships. But, yes, that I have no respect for this man.
Okay. So, get your votes in, guys. Get them in early, please. That would be
Yes.
awesome. Either way, we won't see you next week, but we will be back in, I guess, my bedroom, because the bunny dungeon is unavailable for us to record in.
Yep, the bungeon.
The bungeon. I like that. It's now the bungeon.
Yeah, so we'll have some interesting stuff going on in December, which you'll find out when we get there.
Yes, it's going to be fantastical. And how dare you? At this point, it's looking like Ryan has more one episodes than me. I brought in incest not once, but twice this year.
So here's the thing. I might have more victories, but I still think that yours is going to be the best one for the year. I think it's going to win overall. We'll see.
We'll see.
We're not the ones voting on it, but oh
You
man.
are. You are. Okay. Guys, I'll see you on Twitter where your votes are being casted. Bye.
Goodbye. All right, well, I'm Ryan, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram under Build Right Roll, where I post about my professional Dungeon Master experiences. You can check out the links in the description if you're interested in hiring a professional DM or looking to level up your own DM skills.
And you can find me, V, at I'm Cringe Queen at Instagram and Twitter, or check me out on YouTube as the Queen of Cringe, and be embarrassed with me.
All right, well, thanks for listening and cringing along with us.
And we'll catch you next time with more awesome cringe content.
I'm hypocritical, but at least I know we could be beautiful or maybe terrible. Only one way to know. Only one way to know.
Hello, I am Patrick.
And I'm Andrew. And I'm Christian.
And I'm Allie.
And we are Rad Theater, a podcast where a bunch of friends play role-playing games and share a single brain cell, and the GM doesn't always have it. Oh, and it's theater spelled the correct way, Theatre.